Alexa, what time is it?
Good morning, Wendy. It's 7:29 a.m.
Alexa, what's today's date?
Today is Wednesday, August 7th.
Alexa, what year is it?
The current year is 2024.
Alexa, what is today's quote?
Here is your quote for August 7th from Larry Page. My job as a leader is to make sure everybody in the company has great opportunities and that they feel they're having a meaningful impact and are contributing to the good of society. As a world, we're doing a better job of that. My goal is for Google to lead, not follow that.
Okay, to your leader. So today marks day one, y'all, of the 30-day Iron Board Challenge. I'm placing these videos in the same folder, same playlist as the other ones that I started, I think like last year, and didn't finish. This is going to be finished because we work towards completion. We work towards obtaining a goal. So we're starting off with a 5-minute warm-up. It's by Carolyn Gervin. She's pretty intense.
Thanks to my son, sometimes I laugh.
Good way to start off the Iron Board.
These pads are ultra thin and absorbent, so I know I'll stay dry no matter what my day brings.
Her workout's quick, but if you look at her page, she has some pretty intense strength training workouts on there. She doesn't talk either. You gotta pay attention. Okay, now we're going for it. So you gotta keep looking at her because she just be switching and don't tell you. So let's do like this. Y'all can still see me? I think we're gonna go for 8. Okay, I'm getting her down now. 1, 2. Okay, we're not. I probably moved too slow. I think I see why I don't be doing hers anymore. I don't want to hit my head off of that. Remember when I hit my knee off of that, y'all? I don't know if you've seen that video. This video was entitled, Embrace the Suck. My boyfriend gave me that title. What's she doing with this? I think she's lifting weight. She loves her squats. Today's Iron Board workout, it's all upper body. 4 exercises. You do 4 times each. I'm starting this off, I'm not overwhelming myself. As I progress and get better, stronger, then I'll increase it. And that's increase the sets. To start off, I'm gonna do 2 sets. looking back at this bro, because she ain't telling me what to do. I don't like her warm up. Enjoyed this warm up, she says? Negative. I don't. I gotta remove this from this playlist because I don't really like it. No shade to her. It's just a setup. I like them to tell me what I'm doing, or for me to hear the counter. You know what I mean, in the background. She has none of that. Alright, y'all. So since I'm not following the video, I have a phone, another phone, with the actual workout on it. So I'm about to show y'all what it is. And in the background, we're going to be listening to a podcast. Let me get my water. Alright, I'm back. So, I just drank my yerba mate tea. My throat's dry. Or the, it's from the, I don't know what it's from. I don't know if it's from the tea or I got new plants in here. Alright, so we're going to listen to my Jay Shetty podcast. Today on there is, hold on. Let me put it on for y'all. So we see, there's one on here with Robert Greene. We ain't doing that one. Even though I like Robert Greene. John Legend. So we're about to listen to that, but I'm going to show y'all real quick what we're about to get into. Again, 4 exercises. 4 sets of shoulder press. Remember, these are all 4 sets. Shoulder press. Chest press. Lateral raises and tricep extensions. Y'all can see that. Anyway, go to the Dare website. You'll find out. This website's hard. Go to the website and explore the website, explore the workout, see everything it has to offer. There's even a timer on here. So once I do my sets, or I do my reps, then I set a timer, 30 seconds in between reps, and then 2 minutes rest in between sets. So anyway, we're gonna start off with these presses. And today, I have my big weights, but I'm starting off with my 5-pound weights.
Three tips to balance your hormones. Coconut oil is a hormone balancer. A 2012 study out of the Philippines showed that coconut oil
and love, when it is able to stand the test of time, it has to be deeper and more like
so it's 12
real than that.
The best-selling author and host.
The #1 health and wellness podcast.
On Purpose with Jay Shetty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to On Purpose, the #1 health and wellness podcast in the world. Thanks to each and every single one
Check
of you
out Jay Shetty's
that join
podcast,
every
too.
week
It's my
to
favorite.
listen, learn, and grow.
One of my
Now I know
favorites.
you're here because you're fascinated, as I am, about creator stories, people's backgrounds, walks of life, choices they made, decisions that changed the trajectory of their journey, because you're trying to make the same in your life. And today's guest is someone that I had down as one of the names when I first started the show 4 years ago, nearly 4 years ago. And it was one of those people that I wanted to speak to because I was a fan of his music for a long time, his journey. And I'm grateful that today we actually get to do this in person in my studio at home in LA. And so I'm speaking about none
30-second
other,
rest.
the one and only John Legend, who's garnered 12 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, a Tony Award, and an Emmy Award, making him the first black man to earn an EGOT. During the course
I
of
did not
John's
know
career,
that.
he has released 7 celebrated albums. His 8th studio album, Legend, which was released on September 9th, is out right now. I've been listening to it. It's beautiful. I can't wait for you to listen to it if you haven't already. John recently began the second leg of his critically acclaimed Las Vegas residency entitled Love in Las Vegas, which runs through October. So make sure you check that out. And I'm really excited because his masterclass on songwriting has just released. And if you don't already have a masterclass subscription, make sure you grab one. I first got one when Bob Iger had his masterclass. That's what took me to the platform. And now John Legend has his own on songwriting. So John, welcome to the show.
Great to see you. Great to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm excited for our conversation.
Yeah, me too. I usually know people that are on the show, and I was like, we've never met.
Yeah.
We've never crossed paths, you know, and so it's always nice to, I feel like this is the best way to get to know someone deeply and intimately, is do a
Sure.
podcast with them.
When else would you have a situation where you meet someone and you have over an hour to talk to them and learn about them?
Yeah, when was the last time you did that? When was the last time you sat down with someone?
I don't know that that ever happens.
All right, next up,
Yeah,
lateral
it's a
raises.
blessing, and
Yes.
it truly is. But
And we ain't doing
I
it
mean, I
30
remember
seconds in
being
between.
London.
Maybe later on, or I feel like I need a break.
And
We moving.
who is this person? At the time, I was listening to R&B and hip hop and rap, and then it was like, oh, this is very different. Like this isn't, you know, it's hard to kind of
Yeah.
pin it down into one of those genres. But I want to dive into your journey today as well a little bit. And I want to start with you being homeschooled.
Yeah.
When I was researching and reading, I was like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, I was homeschooled by my parents, particularly my mother. We grew up in a very Christian home. My parents sent us to a Christian school for a couple years, but it was a little expensive for them to send us to private school. But they still wanted us to have a very kind of Christian education. They decided that instead of sending us to this Christian school, they would basically take the curriculum from the school, use the books from the school, and the school had this homeschool liaison as well, because a lot of evangelical Christian parents like to use this
Taking a break.
method. We would work with the school, but my mom was our main teacher, and we were home a lot with her. We had, you know, friends in the neighborhood, relatives in the neighborhood. But
Next
we were,
is the
with our parents and at the house quite a bit when
one
most of our
arm
friends were in
tricep.
public school and being around a bunch of other kids.
What's your strongest memory from that time, or something that you took away that has kind of stayed with you? Because I find that homeschooling is still a fairly small population when it comes
Yeah,
to
it's very big in the evangelical Christian community. What I remember from it, you know, I was very precocious, so I love to read. I love to independently do whatever, you know, I would just want to advance past whatever I was supposed to be doing at the time. I was obsessed with like encyclopedias and dictionaries. I ended up winning the city spelling bee during that time. So I was very precocious, wanted to learn everything. My mom had a typing textbook, and I just decided I was going to learn how to type. I was taking piano lessons during this time too. So I just wanted to learn everything and know how to do everything.
What's something that you've been trying to learn more recently, or where that mindset's kind of like carried through?
Well, I don't.
What would you like to then, if you had the time?
I should do more master classes. I should be a consumer
I'm liking
of more
this,
master classes. But
interview
yeah,
already.
I haven't done that recently. I do like to read a lot, and I like to just read about how the world works.
What I
to
like
read
about
policy.
these interviews is that you
Very
get to see
interested in,
a
you
different
know,
side
how
of
to
people. You get to hear them
craft
talk.
better
You get to
societies
hear
and
how their
more
life
loving
was and
more
stuff.
Generous
So I think
and more
this is dope.
just and more equitable for more people. And so I like to read books that kind of discuss some of these policy ideas and ways of thinking about the world.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, and it is true. Like, I feel like we all get so busy that it's hard to find time to keep learning.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't recently taken up anything where I'm like, I want to learn how to do this that I don't know how to do. I tried to do it with guitar for a while, and then I just got so busy that I never like stuck with it. And I haven't had something like that recently that I've done. Maybe I should learn another language.
Yeah.
My friend did some Duolingo.
Yeah. No,
That works for her.
No, I'm with you too. I feel like, but it's fun looking back at like what was that in childhood that we loved and kind of reconnect.
It'd be good, you know.
Yeah.
Now that you brought it up, I'm like, why haven't I, you know, picked something I want to learn about? I always thought about, should I go back to college and like take classes and just You just randomly take classes where there's no pressure to get good grades, but just you want to learn something.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Well, that's a beautiful point. That as an adult, you actually get to go and learn.
I also want to tell you, so when you're doing the 4 sets,
Like my mom, she's going to college right
the
now.
repetitions
She never
decrease. So
graduated,
now I'm
and
going to
she
do
would
10
Just go, and you know, she's
of everything.
Like almost 70 years old.
Whereas
That's
before it was
amazing.
12. Some of
What
them
is-
were
what's
different.
her-
Okay, look, I'm looking.
She loves it. She really enjoys
I wasn't
it.
paying attention,
I think
y'all.
It's very like, stimulating for her.
All right,
and,
so with the
you know, she doesn't
shoulder
work,
press,
so
it's
it's
10
like something
repetitions
to
now.
occupy her mind and to stimulate her mind, and she really
The
is learning new
tricep
things.
or the chest press,
So you
10.
being homeschooled to then
And then the
being-
lateral raises, it's
obviously
6, 6,
years
4, 3.
between being homecoming king.
And these are 5, 4, 4, 3. So
Prom king, probably.
Yeah,
All right, so
prom
we
king,
good money.
prom king. Sorry, we don't have proms in
now we're
London,
gonna do 10.
So, you know, where I grew up, so
Yes.
I always missed that. I would watch Hollywood movies and I'd be like, why don't we get to have prom?
Yeah.
And so we never did that. But what was that experience like of then moving from like this very specific homeschool culture, religious culture, institutional culture, and then transitioning? Like, talk to me a bit about that
Yeah.
transition as a young adult or as a
So
child.
it was interesting because at the time, the impetus for us transitioning into public school was our parents getting divorced. And that, the impetus for that really was, it began with my grandmother dying. So my grandmother was very important in our lives. She was very
Between
important in
these,
my mother's
you can
life.
do like some type of
And
cardio,
They made music
and
together. They
active,
ran the church choir together. And we're
you know,
very
active
close.
break. Like, so
And
moving
when
around,
she
doing
died,
this.
it really sent my mom into a spiral, mental health wise.
You can even make the workout itself
She ended up abusing
cardio,
drugs
like,
and just
by
really
just, you know,
becoming
moving through.
distant from
Bam.
our family for a while.
Bam.
During that period, my parents got
Do your own
divorced.
research though. I
Our
ain't no
world was
professional.
being shaken in a lot
I just
of
remember this
ways.
stuff from.
And one of the ways it
Working
was
out.
being shaken is we're like, oh, now we're going to public school after, you know, an entire, 10 years of my life where I didn't spend any time in public school. And, you know, it was quite an adjustment coming from homeschool. And I also, because I was so precocious, I ended up being skipped 2 grades ahead because I tested out of the grades I was supposed to be in. And so I ended up starting 8th grade at the age of a 6th grader.
Wow.
And starting high school at the age of 12 and graduating at the age of 16. So all of it was a bit, difficult, socially adjusting to my parents being divorced, adjusting
I love how
to
he
being in a
says
public school setting
precocious.
when I'd never been in one before. There were a lot of adjustments to make. That's why I'm always,
Y'all about to see what I be doing all day. Alexa, what does precocious mean?
Precocious is an adjective that describes something or someone as being unusually advanced or mature, especially in terms of mental development.
Okay, so he was. So I'm doing 4 of the lateral raises since I did double the amount I was supposed to last time. Because the round 3 is to do 4. So that's what we're doing now.
wary of the idea of homeschooling kids because the social development just isn't really there. But I figured it out. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I think music was always my way of helping me find ways to connect to people because even though I was too shy to really strike up a conversation in person, I wasn't too shy to get up on stage. And once I got up on stage, it was
4 now.
my way of introducing myself to people. It was like, oh, this is me. This is who I am. And I didn't have to break the ice with people because my music was my way of breaking the ice. It was like my social crutch, I would say, at the time. It enabled me to make friends, enabled me to feel like some control over what I was doing. And I think when you feel like you have something you're really good at, it makes you feel a bit more empowered to do other things and to connect with other people and to feel like you can take up space because you feel like, oh, I have something that I've shown everyone that I'm really good at.
I think that is such a great point, and I completely agree with you. I was a really shy kid growing up and massively introverted, and still am to this day in
10
many
now.
circles. Well, my parents forced me to go to public speaking and drama school. And so I would go for 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, so
Yeah.
9 hours a week, all year
That's a
round.
lot of time.
It's a lot of time. And as I improved in both those areas of my life, that's where I feel at home.
Yeah.
And now I started to have more confidence in different circles, and you can move that around. And I was speaking to my friend recently, one of my closest friends, his son's like 10 years old, and he was saying that he's struggling with confidence. And I said exactly what you just said. I was like, well, have you helped him get good at something?
Yeah.
I was like, what is he interested in? What's he naturally gravitating towards that he could be encouraged in further?
Mhm.
Because that would empower him.
That's
as
smart.
a
They
chef.
just said
Exactly.
something
And I
that
think that's such
I'm
a
gonna
beautiful thing
stop.
because we don't know.
He said, what, as a parent, so he's talking to his friend, what have you helped him get good at? So that's so true when we think about ourselves. Like when you have something that you're good at, just that one thing that you're good at, anything, you know what I mean? It gives you something to talk about. It's a conversation starter. You build the confidence, you know what I mean? So finding something that you're actually good at, that you can talk about, that you enjoy, that's making you better, that's helping you connect with other people who are good at that, you know what I mean? So thinking about that in your children and helping them find something that they're good at. Like I have a little cousin who's really good at basketball. You think about other people who are really good in like their field or really educated when it comes to health or things like that. Find something that you're good at and work on improving it. So now we're doing 10.
To validate ourselves through when we're kids. But hearing you reflect back on it makes
10
sense.
of the
And I'm
chest press,
guessing at
it
that
is.
time, there was a lot of stress. I mean, being a young kid whose parents are divorcing, like you said, like your mother's also experiencing mental health and drug abuse. Like, how were you making sense of that? Like, what helped you?
It was hard to make sense of it, and part of my way of dealing with what was going on with my mother was to try to ignore it, honestly, and so I would pour myself into school, pour myself into music, pour myself into these things that kept me busy, so I didn't think about everything that was happening in my family. And my dad did a great job of, helping us, guiding us through it. We had a lot of extended family in our community, cousins, aunts, uncles, who helped fill in the gaps as well. And then we had people at school. I had a guidance counselor. He was one of the only black men that worked at my school.
3.
And he really decided to take me and my older brother under his wing, and just was really helpful in just figuring out school, figuring out how to get into college, all these other things that my parents didn't really know how to help us with. We just
do one
were
more.
fortunate to have other people fill in the gap. They say it takes a village
Yeah.
to raise a child, and I think a lot of times when your parents aren't able to give you everything that you need, it's good to have other
3.
people in your life that can do it.
Yeah, especially now. I feel like there's so. I'm not a parent yet, of course you are, but it's like there's so much pressure on two people
Yeah.
to be everything
Yeah.
to these new human beings.
And what you realize is that, you don't have to be everything. It's great to have other people around you, a
Yep.
village, a community. That's one of the things that was so difficult about the pandemic, was that feeling that you didn't have that, community support that most people normally have, that feeling of being disconnected and separated from a lot of people.
I may be doing this throughout the videos and stuff, so if you want to just hear it straight through, pull it up. Jay Shetty interview with John Legend. But I'm remembering things as I'm going through it. I remember for my older daughter, remembering, this is so funny because we're going to do 8 next to these. Remembering that when I was younger, I remember I would tell her one thing and she wouldn't listen. Somebody else would tell her the same exact thing and she would listen. I'm like, for real? You know what I mean? But then something shifted in my mind and I'm like, you know what? I need to get her around a whole bunch of different people, in different areas, so she can have a variety of people to teach her things, to show her things, to, that she can talk to or whatever. So whether that's like a teacher or whether that's involving her in a different program or, therapy or whatever, you know what I mean? Just having different sources that can help her with her development. That's important because I can't give her everything. I don't know everything. I sometimes look at things one way and, you may try and change and do it a different way, but, when you become an adult, usually you are who you are. Unless you work really hard at changing it, but anyway.
The technological ways that you can get in touch with them. It's nice to be in presence with people. And I think when people didn't have that, we're seeing the results of it with a lot of kids, learning loss and falling behind in school. And there's a lot of things that you just can't do remotely, and you need that community support to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to our community for staying with us through the pandemic, because for me, sitting with someone like this face to face, even for an interview, it's like the connection that you have with someone as opposed to through a screen.
Yeah.
It's just incomparable.
It's different.
Yeah.
And we made the most of what we had to do during that time, but clearly it's preferable to be in person. And I think particularly for kids, as they're trying to learn, they need that.
Yeah, did you have to, you said that, and I think you're so right, like as kids, we ignore stuff like that, we try and avoid it, we try and, you know, we have to, and I loved what you said, you poured yourself into your music, you poured yourself into school, and that's why artistic outlets are so fantastic to have as young people. Did you ever have to revisit it? Did you feel like it naturally just improved, there were changes, or did you ever have to revisit that as an adult to be like, did you ever feel the need for any healing, or did you feel that just naturally kind of came to a place?
Well, we needed to heal. We needed to forgive our mother because we felt abandoned by her.
Hi there.
Alexa,
She
stop.
eventually got sober, came back to
Alexa,
her
stop.
family. She healed in a lot of ways as well, and you know, recovered in a lot of ways. And we still had to deal with forgiving her though, because I think when you feel let down by your parent, part of what you need to do for your own growth is figure out how to forgive them and how to love them and not be held back by whatever resentment or anger or disappointment you might feel. Because if you continue to hold on to it, it actually hinders you as much or more than it hinders anyone else. The person that may be the object of your forgiveness, that's great to forgive them, but it's just as important for you. Because that's the best way for you to go on and live the best life that you can live, is to get that weight off of your shoulder that you're holding on to.
And it's almost hardest doing that with our parents, because when we're young, you kind of see them as the person who's meant to be the caregiver.
This is a good interview. You guys can't tell. Excuse me. All right, that was good, y'all. Day 1 and done. Got us a nice little workout in. I'm right here. I'm still just charging this phone. Yeah, I would say check out this podcast. It was a good one so far. I always move these and put them back there because I have all my other weights over there, but I'm like, every day I'm moving and stuff, so I'm just rearranging because I'm more involved with my weights and workout equipment now. So we're moving them out the corner and into the room because they getting used on a daily basis. But yeah, I'm excited. Starting a new journey. Remember, working towards completion. All right. So please do something today that's positive for your mind, your body, your soul, and someone else.